Hello guys, how are we all doing? Welcome back to Premier League predictions for game week 3. We're 3 weeks into the Premier League season now, Sophie.
I'm loving it, can't get enough.
Can't get enough of the football. Guys, do feel free to share your predictions down below. These are the results from last week and they are the results added up over the previous 2 weeks. I am in the lead. Will Sophie be able to close me down? Remember, this is a 38-week season, so there's so many predictions to get through. Before we get into this video, please do make sure to drop a like. For 2 weeks in a row, we've hit 1,000 likes. Let's see if we can do it again. 1,000 likes would be amazing. Everyone, please do make sure you've hit that thumbs up button. It's free to do, and it really does help the channel. Do make sure, of course, to hit the subscribe button if you haven't already to get your Premier League fix, as we're on the march to 37,000 subscribers. Let's get into the Premier League predictions, Sophie, starting at the bridge. Chelsea take on Luton Town. It's good to have Luton Town playing again. They obviously weren't involved last week with their game against Burnley being postponed due to the fact that Kenilworth Road was not ready. It's another away game. It's a bit of a frustrating start here for Luton because ultimately they played one game. It was a very difficult game away at Brighton and it's just kind of left them almost having to catch up already. They're obviously not the favourites for this one. Chelsea are, but Chelsea haven't been perfect so far. A 3-1 defeat against West Ham. Neither of us predicted that.
No, I mean, I thought a draw would play out, to be honest.
Well, there you go.
You think Chelsea would win?
I back Chelsea, yeah. I mean, to be honest, we're both wrong then. But I don't know. I mean, the Chelsea's performance against Liverpool was good. And that made me think, all right, they could be all right this season. But that performance against West Ham has made me question things. Luton, we can only go off their performance against Brighton. They weren't great. They did get punished for mistakes that they're going to have to learn from. It's the Premier League. It's so much faster paced than the Championship. Ultimately, they haven't spent a lot of money. Their squad isn't necessarily Premier League experienced yet. But maybe as time goes on, they're going to try and get together and get results and things might just work out. Do you know what? I'm going to go bold with some of these predictions today, Sophie.
Okay.
Luton Town, you're getting a draw. So I'm going to say Chelsea 1, Luton Town 1. Go on, Luton, you can do it.
Okay, so I was initially going to say I can see Luton scoring. However, I do feel like Chelsea need to bolster their defence and they need to do it quickly, to be honest, because coming off the back of a 3-1 defeat against West Ham, not a great result at all, and they're going to be the clear favourites in this one, so they shouldn't be conceding. They should be winning this one comfortably with the team they've got. The money they've spent is just insane. I feel like Luton are going to be in it, but I'm not going to give them a goal anymore. 2-0 Chelsea. 2-0
to Chelsea against Luton Town. Interesting. Okay, right, so let's go down to the south coast where AFC Bournemouth take on Tottenham Hotspur. AFC Bournemouth, I did back them to lose 3-1 at Liverpool. They did. They did take the lead though, so some encouraging signs there. Tottenham Hotspur though, they are really impressing when you put those two results together. Like that. The 2-2 at Brentford was good, but that win against United was a statement, wasn't it?
Yeah. Good performance too. You can get a win and put in a poor performance, but it was a good performance and got 3 points.
Absolutely. They need more of that, and they need it consistently if they're to be good without Harry Kane. You can't just have that and then not perform for 3-4 games. They need that every week, and they could be up there this season. Remember, there's no European football, so I do think that benefits Tottenham's chances of getting higher up the Premier League table this season. Look, Bournemouth aren't a pushover, and especially at their place, I don't think it'll be easy for Tottenham, but because Tottenham have impressed me so much, I will just give them 3 points. I'm going to say AFC Bournemouth 1, Spurs 2.
Yeah, I'm going to say 2-1 as well. I can see Bournemouth taking the lead. They deserved that goal against Liverpool. They were pressing high, forced a mistake, got their goal, and I feel like they could do the same again. However, I am going to back them to lose, so I agree with you. 2-1. 2-1,
yeah, okay. I just think Spurs look very good at the moment, but Bournemouth will get their first win soon, I'm sure. Let's go to the Emirates as Arsenal take on Fulham, a London derby, and for me this one's should be straightforward here. I'm going to go for Arsenal. Arsenal, we expect them to be right up there this season. Fulham, not 100% sure. I mean, they did get that opening day win at Everton, but
Everton.
Yeah, Fulham really did crumble against Brentford. I'm going to go for Fulham to lose 3-0 again. I'm going to back the Gunners to get a bit of a move on. Arsenal 3-0.
Yeah, Arsenal going into this are obviously going to be the favourites. Fulham haven't started the best. As we say, they did get a win opening day, but that was against Everton, and it seems like everyone's picking up points against them at the moment. So I'm going to back the home side as well, but one less goal, 2-0.
2-0. Okay, right. We've got another London derby, so it just goes to show how many London teams there are in the Premier League. It's Brentford versus Crystal Palace, and I've got to say, I am really enjoying Brentford at the moment. I genuinely think, I'm not trying to be outrageous here, because Ivan Toney was such a good player, but they don't miss him. They've got Mbeumo and Wissa, and they are such good replacements. For me, Wissa and Mbeumo are top half Premier League players. They are finishers, and they've got goals in that team. The defence looked solid against Fulham as well. I think Brentford get another win here. Palace will probably present a bit more of a threat than Fulham did. I'm going to go for Brentford to win 2-1.
Yeah, I agree with you again. I feel like Brentford, I don't think it's that outrageous saying that they don't miss Tony. As you say, their squad's looking very good. We always bang on about how much we like their manager. Being the home side as well, I'm leaning towards them even more, but I do see Palace getting a goal. So 2-1.
2-1. Right, so if we are going to Goodison for the battle at the bottom, which is Everton versus Wolves, two sides that are stinking their place out. To be fair, Wolves not as much as Everton for me. Let's start with Everton, as they're the home side. They lost 1-0 at home to Fulham on the opening day. I thought that was a bit of a flat one. I suppose we did predict Fulham to finish ahead of Everton this season, but I thought with Everton being at home they might get something. They didn't. It's the result after that as well. 4-0 away at Villa, man. And Villa are missing some players at the moment, but Everton still got battered. I thought if there's any chance of... Well, I did predict them to stay up this season, and I thought what could keep them up is Sean Dyche, but this start to the season has got me worried for Everton. Wolves, they've lost 2 out of 2. It's not been great, but I thought against Manchester United, they should have got something. Against Brighton, maybe not so much. Brighton were devastating in the second half, and Wolves lost that one 4-1. But Wolves, I'm going to give you a big win here just because Everton are really stinking the place out. Both sides could really do with a reaction. Both sides could do with a win. Wolves are going to get it, and Wolves are going to win 3-0.
Yeah, both teams got to look at this game as a winnable fixture, and they both drastically need the points. If any team's going to do it for me, it's going to be Wolves. I don't see it being quite so convincing. So for me, I'm going to back Wolves to win, but just 1-0. Okay,
1-0 to Wolves. Not as bold as my prediction, but okay, if you're playing it safe. Let's go to Old Trafford. So if Manchester United take on Nottingham Forest, Man United, another team that's stinking the house out at the moment, they're on 3 points, but I don't know how, because we said against Wolves they got lucky. And then, yeah, not very good at Tottenham at all. They lost 2-0. They did have moments in that game. They hit the post. They had a good penalty appeal turned down, but what goes around comes around, eh? And as for Nottingham Forest, we both predicted them to beat Sheffield United 2-1. So let's put it there, because they did. It's difficult, this one, for Nottingham Forest, though, because they are not very good on the road. But if there's ever an opportunity to go on the road and get something against one of the big 6 clubs, it might be now against Manchester United. But Man United will also be looking at it in a way that, right, we're at home to Nottingham Forest, who are infamously the worst away team. So both should be looking at this as an opportunity. Yeah. I'm going to go for Forest to get a draw. I'm going to back Forest to get something. I don't know where it's coming from, because Nottingham Forest played United 4 times last season and lost all 4. But I'm going to back Forest to get a 1-1. They were really good in the air with their crosses into the box. Awoniyi scored, Wood scored. Yeah. Just keep things tight at the back, and they might be able to make Manchester United's season a little bit worse. I'm going to go for Forest 1-1.
Yeah, I'd love to see a draw play out, to be honest. I'd love to see them get the win at Old Trafford, but I don't see it happening. I just know what Forest are like, especially away from home. That's why I'm not even going to back a draw. I'm going to say a tight game, though, but I can see a draw playing out until like final minutes, and then Forest just, I don't know, doing something daft, and United getting a 2-1 win and being absolutely devastated. But I could just see it happening, so 2-1 United.
There you go. Right, okay, let's go down to the south coast again. So if we have got Brighton taking on West Ham United. Now this is a really tasty matchup because both sides have started well.
Yep.
Brighton are going to be favourites because they've started the better of the two, I suppose, and they're at home, and they're the team that were better last season. But let's not take anything away from West Ham United, who I think have had a very good start to the season. A 1-1 draw away at Bournemouth, and then the 3-1 win at home to Chelsea. So I don't think they should be afraid of going to Brighton. They should just play with a freedom, and maybe without Declan Rice, they're a better team. Who knows? I'll tell you one player that I love for West Ham, Jarrod Bowen. I just love Jarrod Bowen.
Yeah.
I love him. But sorry, West Ham, I am going to go for Brighton because Brighton are just so good. Back-to-back 4-1 wins. They beat Luton Town and Wolves. West Ham are better than Luton Town and Wolves, at least at the moment anyway. So I'll go 3-1 to Brighton on this occasion.
Yeah, I agree. I think the only sure thing about this game is Lucas Paquetá getting a yellow card. Other than that, it could go either way, to be honest. I am going to have to lean towards the home side. They've got up to a great start and they're scoring. They do tend to concede the odd one, but I feel like this game they're not going to. So 2-0 to Brighton for me. 2-0
to Brighton. Okay, right, so this one's interesting. We're going to Turf Moor. Burnley versus Aston Villa, the battle of the Claret and Blues. Burnley didn't play last week, and on the opening day they played Man City at home. So what can we take from that? Not a lot. So I don't think it would be fair to just dismiss Burnley and be like, oh, they've had a poor start. They haven't.
It wasn't a bad performance either.
They played the top team. They put in a good attacking performance, which for me shows that they're here to not just try and grind
draws
out. They mean business. But Villa, one extreme to the other, 5-1 loss and then a 4-0 win. But they played two sides that I think are going to be complete opposite ends of the table. They played Newcastle, who are unbelievable, and then they played Everton, who are unbelievably bad. So Villa have done okay, I suppose, if you put the two together. Their goal difference is back to 0. I'm going to back Burnley. It's coming out of nowhere. I think Villa's win over Everton was very good, but Villa are very unpredictable. True. I think they could win this, but I'm going to go for Burnley to get 3 points. I think, like you said, they play nice football and they will get a win. If they don't get it here, they'll get one soon, but I'm going to go for them to get it here. 2-1 Burnley.
Yeah, I think Burnley are going to get most of their points at home at Turf Moor, but coming against Villa, putting a very, very good performance against Everton. As you say, it is against Everton, but I did think it could be a bit of a statement game. Coming into this, I actually think they're harder opposition than Everton, and I see it being a much tighter game. However, I feel like Villa do have more quality here, so I'm going to have to back them to win 2-1. 2-1
Villa. Okay, right, 2 games left. So let's go to Bramall Lane. Sheffield United take on Man City. Sheffield United are also pointless at the moment. No points accumulated from 2 games. But I don't see it getting much better here. Manchester City. To be fair, Sheffield United put in a spirited performance against Forest, especially in the second half. And Gustavo Hamer.
Great goal. But we know what he can do.
He is an unbelievable gem, Sheffield United fans. Please look after him and you will get the best out of him. He is some player. But even he doesn't have what it takes to stop Manchester City, in my opinion.
No.
I think Sheffield United's second half performance against Forest has made me think that there's something maybe there. And if you look at the fixtures, next week Sheffield United have got Everton at home. I think they could win that one. But what I want to see from this is not a result, but a performance against Man City that makes me think, okay.
A bit like Burnley did.
Yeah. I'm going to go for the same result Man City got against Burnley. I'm going to go for Man City 3-0. And a word on Man City, because I've brushed over them actually. Man City beat Newcastle 1-0, obviously following that Burnley win as well. And this is why we went for Man City to win the league. They are going to beat most of the teams in the division, and they're keeping the defence tight. They're scoring goals. Man City, you don't even have to speak about much. They're just going to keep going around sweeping teams about. They're just too good. Man City 3-0.
Yeah, Man City is the type of team that you could say, they're going to win 4-0. You wouldn't even have to justify it. People just go, oh, okay, yeah. However, they have got a key player out in Kevin De Bruyne, but they've got a very, very good team and a good manager. Coming up against Sheffield United, as we said, they did put in a good performance against Nottingham Forest at times, but this completely different kettle of fish against Man City here. So I'm going to say 2-0 Man City. 2-0 Man City. Right, so let's go to Newcastle versus Liverpool, the final game, and probably the best game, to be honest. What a game this is.
Liverpool, I'm glad to say I've got 2 predictions bang on.
Oh,
I predicted them to draw 1-1 at Chelsea. They did. I predicted them to beat Bournemouth 3-1, and they did. Can I make it a hat-trick here? I backed them to draw, I backed them to win. I'm going to back them to lose on this occasion. I think Newcastle United, despite losing to Man City, now they're back at St James's Park, they can turn it on. And Liverpool's not an easy game. I have been quite impressed with Liverpool so far, but Newcastle's opening day performance against Villa makes me think they've got goals in them and maybe enough to just get past Liverpool here. Newcastle are going to win this game 2-1.
Yeah, I mean, I think every time I go against Liverpool, they get a result. So you'll be glad to hear I'm not backing you to win this one. I do see it playing out a draw. I see both teams scoring. Both teams can show that they can concede a few as well. So it's going to be 2-2 for me, Desmond.
Oh, Desmond. There you go. Right, guys, do get your Premier League predictions down below. They are our Premier League predictions for Game Week 3. We've got more predictions coming next week, and then the week after that, it's the international break, so enjoy while we're here anyway. Do make sure to drop a like, do make sure to subscribe, do make sure to comment your predictions. Thank you for joining me, Sophie.
Thank you.
And we'll see you all in the next one. Peace out.